Welcome everyone today, both in room and on live stream. Welcome to Sunday morning. Today we are judging the 2019 AIPP Epson Queensland Professional Photography Awards in the newborn category, sponsored by the wonderful Camera House. Today, in our judging room, we have some phenomenal judges. We have the incredible Kelly Tunney. Sorry, early morning, huge apologies. Kelly Tunney from Canberra. We have the lovely Andrea Thompson from Brisbane, Jacinta Dalban from Melbourne, Adam Finch from Brisbane, Mark Rosetto from Brisbane, Selena Rollison from Brisbane, Paul Sinacotta from the Gold Coast, and Roxanne Gorman from Brisbane. So thank you very much, judges, and welcome to everyone here. This morning we're going to start on the panels with Kelly Tunney, Adam Finch, Jacinta Dalban, Selena Rollison and Paul Sinacotta. I'll now just go into a category preamble. This category is intended for imagery of infants up to the age of 3 months. The judges will reward excellence in lighting, posing, composition and camera technique. The newborn category will be judged in 2 sections, newborn open and newborn single capture. The category is judged in 2 sections to assist the judges in their assessment. However, there is only one award. Newborn is defined as an infant up to the age of 3 months and is calculated from the date of delivery if full term, 37 to 42 weeks, or from the due date if premature. Entries into this category must be commissioned by the families of the newborn depicted in the entry. The entry does not have to be the photograph that was sold to the client, but must be taken from the same photography session. Images of the entrant immediate family are prohibited. Images may contain other people, including family members, pets or animals, so long as the newborn is one of the key elements in the composition. Polytitches, diptritches, tiptritches, etc. are permitted in both sections. Newborn open. Entrants may utilise all post-production techniques, including multiple images or elements, in producing their entry. And in newborn single capture, this section is intended to reward technical and creative excellence in photographing and presenting an authentic representation of a scene without the benefit of creative composition techniques. Okay, so we're all good? Okay, we're going to start with single capture and let's get rolling. Next print, please. This print has scored 75, and can I please have a comment from Kelly Tunney?
Yeah, the placement of the mother's hands, I'm assuming, from the top just was a little bit overpowering. I think if it was just a little bit more delicate and there was a bit more room up the top, might have helped.
Thank you, Kelly. Some fabulous feedback there. Okay, next print, please. Adam, we do. We've just received your score. Perfect. This print has scored 82, a silver award. Big round of applause for the photographer. And we will take a comment from Andrea.
Beautiful image. Printed, it's just stunning. So you walk in and there's a house and the story that you see, and it's like a pop-up card. And to have just a little bit of a happy story up the top there, and everything is handled lovely and definitely worth an award.
Thank you very much for that comment, Andrea. Now, while I have you getting organised, can I actually thank you for your time on the panel? And can I please welcome Roxanne Gorman? Thank you, Roxy. I'll just get you to take a seat and get all focused and settled. Okay, we're all good. Okay, next print, please. This print has scored 76. And can I have a comment from Jacinta?
Beautiful concept, well done on high standard professional practice. Overhandled, I think this one. It's really, really sharp, oversaturated. Just be careful with the frame, the way that the positioning and the composition of the images of the actual photography session in there, on how they're placed. You've got the story there, so the dad and his Guinness and he loves potatoes, or I don't know if both are Irish, but we've got the Irish sort of leaf in there. Just work on your finessing and your cutting and pasting and joining images together just needs a little bit of work.
Thank you, Jacinta. Okay, next print, please. Okay, now we are judging the 2019 AIPP Epson Queensland Professional Photography Awards this Sunday morning, and we are currently judging the newborn category, which is sponsored by the lovely Camera House. So thank you, Camera House. We appreciate your support. And on the panel this morning, we have the lovely Kelly, Adam, Jacinta, Roxanne, and Mark. This print has scored 80 and is a silver award. And we will take a comment from Jacinta on 81.
Just one thing, obviously, is the flame. My eye is going to the flame. I have put this in the silver range and fantastic, but I would have gone even higher if that wasn't so bright and we got a little bit more to do with the story. I know that there's a dragon, but I'm trying to read into the story a little bit more. But well done. It's something different that we haven't seen.
Excellent. Thank you, Jacinta, and congratulations to the photographer. Next print, please. I do press it. Do I press it again? Yeah. Oh, have I done it twice? I hope. This print has scored 76, and we will take a comment from Kelly Tunney.
Just sometimes less is more. You know, I really think it's an interesting concept, but right into the where the baby is, and the posing's all very lovely, but just there's elements on elements on elements, you know. So maybe sometimes stripping some of that back, and just watch that really heavy sort of vignetting, really sort of bringing it in on the right-hand side. Just a couple of things might help.
Thank you, Kelly. Next print, please. By majority, this print has scored 84. And I thought that might have happened. And we have some judges wanting to challenge here. We are going to accept the challenge from Jacinta, who is on 93.
Oh my God. Wow. Like, this is insane. This is next level gold. We're talking outstanding visual interpretation, emotional impact and technique. This image has it all. What an enormous amount of effort this photographer has gone into to create this concept. For those in the audience that can't see, it says I am, you are, we are Australian. It's got writing in the background from every different nationality background. All the babies in there are emphasised on their background as well. How they have created this is outstanding. The posing in every single baby is spot on. The skin tones, the printing, the composition, they've just gone next level. This is bang on, absolutely a gold. Go back and revisit it.
Thank you, Jacinta. Can I please hear from Adam, who is on 81?
Look, I enjoy the concept. I award the photographer for construction, and sort of trying to be as delicate as I can, but it's pretty white, and that's a bit of a problem if you're going to go and say I am, we are Australian, and there isn't too much colour in that. To be as delicate as I can, I certainly don't see any sort of significantly dark-skinned babies and so forth. If you're going to put different languages, you're going to make it all inclusive and do all of that. It's not so great. I think it had the potential to be gold. It had the potential to do all of that, but you're making a social statement with an image, and you're making one, and I struggle with it. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Adam. We might go to Roxanne, who is on 83.
I have to concur with Adam, actually. That was, when I stepped up, I was really excited because I think conceptually I've never seen anything like that before. And in terms of acknowledging the concept, it is really strong, but it is, I'm trying to find the politically correct word, it's very vanilla. there is not a lot of diversity in the cultural range represented. So if we're going to make that statement, it needs to be all encompassing. The other thing that I struggle with in going up to the gold range is that, I mean, the work involved with that, I can't even begin to think of the hundreds of hours that this photographer has put into this award. However, there's also some clumsiness in the terms of the Photoshop work. There are some lines that are smooth, there are some lines that are sharp, and for me, I really struggled. For gold, I'm talking about technical excellence, and I think there's some finessing that needs to happen in that regard.
Okay, thank you, Roxanne. Now we're going to hear from Mark. He's sitting on 83, and because we're talking in the gold category, I'm going to give all judges the opportunity to talk. So, Mark.
Yep, I'm similar to Rotsy and Adam. It's if you're gonna have the I am Australian, have the different cultures in there. There's a few babies in there that are really kind of posed really well, and there's a few that are just kind of a bit flat. So I've got nothing much else to add, but apart from that, but as a concept, as an idea, happy to come up. But to gold, it's a bit of a stretch.
Now, Kelly Tunney also believed this was gold, scoring on 92. Kelly, can we have a comment from you?
Excuse me. I agree with Roxanne, what you're saying there, to be politically correct and say it in all the right ways so we don't offend anybody. With due respect to what the three of you have said, these babies are very, very small, and just because there might not be one or two or three or four or slightly darker skinned baby does not mean anything, in my opinion, because of who we don't know. We're sort of assuming that. So we're talking about we are Australian. If I am imagining that in the background is, from all accounts, 10, 12 of that phrase in 12 different languages. So just because they're not slightly darker skin does not mean really we can't assume where they're from, you know what I mean? And they are very small. So I think for me, I've just taken that out as irrelevant from my point of view. I hope that's okay that I say that. And in terms of I don't feel it's clumsy at all. I just think, there are thousands of babies born every day, and it's just like, I had a sense of proudness. I just had a sense of sort of belonging to our country and inclusiveness and all those sorts of things. In terms of its concept, it's very, very strong. And I think what we're sort of pointing out in terms of it's clumsy, it's the masses. It's just, this is how many babies were born yesterday. I don't know. It to me, that's how I made sense of, just to address those comments, I suppose. For a gold award, as Jacinta said, outstanding visual communication. And I just don't want us to assume that we know the background to 2,000 babies that are in front of us. We don't. We just don't know where they've come from and what culture they've been brought up in and all sorts of things. So I'm 92. I'm a sort of pretty strong gold as well. So good conversation though. Great that we can do this.
Thank you, Kelly. Okay, Jacinta, back for your right of reply.
I think Kelly's pretty much addressed everything that I probably would have come back with as well. In regards to what we're all talking about on nationalities here, I think it really is irrelevant. You can't assume anything these days on babies' backgrounds. They are really small. We've got mixed races that all around these days, so I don't think it's got anything to do with that, and we need to completely ignore that point. I can't see any clumsiness in there as well. I think it's been perfectly constructed compared to, we've had some comments of perfectly posed and then clumsy. That's the reality of newborn photography. You will have some sessions that go absolutely perfect and some that don't. And it's actually worked when combining all together to create this amazing shot of Australia. And I can even see this on an obstetrician's wall. Imagine if this was an obstetrician that's photographed those babies. That's their work on their wall. It's absolutely outstanding gold.
Thank you, Jacinta. Now, Jacinta, you will hold your 93. All other judges, please rescore. Okay, this print now scores 88. So it has is a silver distinction, and we have gone up a few points. And thank you for that awesome conversation, judges. So congratulations for silver distinction, 88. Can I please have a blank screen now? That concludes the newborn category at the 2019 AIPP Epson Queensland Photography Awards, sponsored by the lovely Camera House. I would like to thank our incredible judging team. I would like to thank our back team that have been making everything happen back there. Faru, who was on the assistant for me, and Sarah. And we look forward to seeing you in documentary in this room next. Thank you, everyone, live streaming in the room.